Hey guys, so this is my third installment, I guess I can say that, on the Redneck Wine Cellar. And the first installment had to do with the cinder block walls that were in the basement and they were bowing. And so basically I built a table that was also a support for that wall. So I kind of turned that bug into a feature. And then in the second installment, I raised the whole profile of the stairwell that leads down to the Redneck Wine Cellar so I can accommodate a new door that's going to go on the side of the building. Not sure where to get started, but sometimes the best thing to do is just start and see what happens. So I appreciate you guys, and thanks a lot for sticking around.
Yeah, so I know I've said it before, but that door was right by the HVAC, and so to get to it required some tricky maneuvering. And so basically the first step is just to remove the door and remove the trim and the paneling, everything on that side. And so just kind of a crowbar and hammer for the most part did that work. And I'm just trying to make the entrance more inviting as well. I think anytime you can make any entrance more inviting, then it seems to encourage people to want to go down there and check it out. It kind of sets the stage for what's to follow. So most of this work can be done with a hammer and a chisel. Yeah, this is the new pre-hung door that we got. I was pretty excited about it because it's got these blinds on the inside, but the red label there that you're seeing actually has the dimensions for the rough cut. And so you'll just cut it out and then put studs on either side of that opening and then one on the top of the door, and pretty straightforward.
All right guys, so here's what the studs look like before I start the opening, and they're 16 inches studs on center, and there's like the top sill, and I added the little box above it, and you got the bottom sill. And so if I scan over to where the door opening is, yeah, I just removed the studs in the middle and actually moved one that was here over here so this long one could go up right up against it, and then one that was like right around here I moved over here and then put another long one up against it, and then I just did a stud across the top. So the door directions say a rough opening of 82 by 34¼ inches, so that's what I have, and that'll give me a good guide just to run my reciprocating saw along the inside and to take out that portion of plywood. So got the door opening.
Yeah, if you're doing this by yourself, I found it easiest to pick it up and put the threshold down first and then kind of raise it up and put it in. There was a little plastic piece that held that door closed, and I inadvertently took it out. You can see it flying open on me there. But yeah, and then after you got it in and shimmed it up, then you just screw it in.
Hello. Very exciting. The door.
Yeah, I ordered a smart lock for this door, and I was waiting for it to arrive, so I ended up doing some things that I didn't anticipate doing, like putting some weatherproof silicone on the door, cutting off ground wire, painting, piling up my trash heap, putting in insulation and stuff like that. But I thought it might be a security risk if eventually the cellar can be accessed from the house. I don't want people walking into the cellar and then to our house. So, and frankly, that smart lock never arrived in time. So I'll have to save that for another video. Yeah, and I didn't want that new wall to be sitting on the ground if it was all framed in wood. So since the rest of the stairwell had these cinder block, base, cinder block base to it, I decided to go ahead and repeat that for this process. Found it pretty easy actually to use a circular saw and masonry blade to cut through the cinder block. So that forms the base of the wall, and from then on I could just frame it normally.
Hey guys, so right behind me here is the new stairwell for the redneck wine cellar, and last week I raised the roof up to accommodate a new door that I can put on the side. And the other reason to raise the roof was we'd like to be able to access the cellar from inside the house, which we can't do right now. So I gave a brief tour last time, and I'm really excited about the progress. It's really coming along. So anyway, let's take a tour. All right, so here it is. You can see where the air conditioner made it almost impossible to get to the door initially, right there. And you can see the line right there where the two panels meet. I'm gonna put some trim up there, and then along that corner put maybe some cedar trim, just to give it a long lasting life, and maybe some color, some nice color there. But I'm really excited about this door. It's glass, and it's got these mini blinds, and you can close that depending on the weather, because I don't have any climate control down here. It's just a basement, and it's sort of naturally climate controlled. But yeah, you can see just what even just a fresh coat of paint, what it's done to brighten things up. And I'm going to eventually take out that landing right there, but it's been useful for now to put the insulation up and everything, so I'm keeping it for the time being. But down here really hasn't changed that much. I've got more work to do, but I did move the water heater. It was right there, which unfortunately was right where the window is. I gotta get rid of those Christmas lights, but and then put the water heater over here in the corner, which I think is going to be a lot better. And then I'm trying to figure out if I can just put in a big header here and get rid of this metal pole. That would give me a lot more room, and then see if I can maybe change the ducting for metal that's not quite as wide and in the way. But yeah, it's really coming along great. Feels so good down here.